Šéfka Európskej komisie Ursula von der Leyenová neprestáva provokovať. Ukrajina si zaslúži mier prostredníctvom sily. Zaujímavé. Mier na Ukrajine musia sprevádzať spoľahlivé bezpečnostné záruky. Oznámila to 17. februára predsedníčka Európskej komisie Ursula von der Leyenová po mimoriadnom samite európskych lídrov v Paríži. Citujem: Dnes sme v Paríži opätovne potvrdili, že Ukrajina si zaslúži mier prostredníctvom sily. Svet, ktorý rešpektuje svoju nezávislosť, suverenitu, územnú celistvosť so spoľahlivými bezpečnostnými zárukami, napísala Ursula von der Leyenová na sociálnej sieti X, predtým Twitter. Šéfka Európskej komisie tiež zdôraznila, že Európa naďalej znáša svoj plný podiel na vojenskej pomoci Kyjevu. Citujem: Zároveň musíme posilniť obranu v Európe, poznamenala von der Leyenová.
Dawn in Kiev. Warnings of the latest Russian drone attack blare out among people that have lived with them for nearly 3 years. Though the war in Ukraine continues to take lives almost everywhere in this country, the focus for many is on what's happening elsewhere. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in Saudi Arabia on Monday, a day before the US was due to hold talks with Russia about a peace deal in Ukraine. Barely a week after Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone about such a deal, suspicion has grown that negotiations will likely favour Moscow over Kiev.
Ukraine will not take part. Ukraine did not know anything about them. Ukraine regards any negotiations on Ukraine without Ukraine as ones that have no result. And we cannot recognise any agreements about us made without us, and will not recognise such agreements.
Volodymyr Zelensky is not the only one being left out. Europe will also not have any representation at the talks, sparking concern in the bloc at what it could entail. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Monday said it should not come as a surprise.
The European philosophy has not gone anywhere, so I don't know what they can do at the negotiation table. If they continue scheming some tricky ideas on freezing the conflict, while themselves, per usual, as they like and usually do, just continue the war, why invite them there?
Leaders from Europe and the UK arrived in Paris on Monday for emergency talks convened by Emmanuel Macron. The French president called for the meeting at the last minute. Coordinating plans for continued support of Ukraine were at the forefront of discussions, but as often happens among these countries, finding a consensus on how to take that support forward may prove difficult. In a newspaper article published on Monday, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the UK was prepared to put troops in Ukraine to help guarantee peace.
And we must continue to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position, whatever happens next, and to make sure that if there is peace, and we all want peace, that it is lasting.
Others seem more reticent on what might be possible.
As long as there is a war, there will be no question of European troops in Ukraine.
In terms of humanitarian and military aid, we do not anticipate sending Polish soldiers to Ukraine.
NATO too remains a key point of contention. US commitment to the alliance, a mainstay of European security for the last 80 years, appears to be wavering. Secretary-General Mark Rutte met new US envoy to Russia and Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, on Monday. The US is demanding European countries pay much more, not only into their own militaries, but into the alliance as well.
The problems currently facing the UK and other European countries are more than significant. Not only do they include security worries from Russia and a diplomatic balancing act with Donald Trump now, but they also include spending on defence that many feel that they can't afford. The question likely to be asked in Paris, in Riyadh and in Ukraine this week is what it will cost them to do nothing. Joel Flynn, TRT World in London.